Oh boy. Let's run that back. Um, that does not look like a coach that thinks that he can win. Yeah, coming to the mid. I'll fist bump you. I know you guys are crushing us. That is not inspiring whatsoever. All right, so some adaptations from the draft. Some good ones, some bad ones. I do like that they're going to try to take it to bot lane with Lucian Nami. Unfortunately, they gave up Zaya Rakan to do it, which I think is even stronger. Lucian Nami is going to be favored at level 3 and level 3 to 5. But Zaya Rakan is going to be exceptionally strong, very good into this pairing. Also, we have Kha'Zix paired with LeBlanc, right? So they're obviously trying to get this for themselves. They want to get MNS on a comfort pick, and they're going for super high damage, trying to set up this play. But now you have double dashes into Vex. Vex is going to be very well suited into this situation. You also have Sion into double AD top lane. Now, K'Sante doesn't need any help to crush this matchup, right? K'Sante absolutely annihilates in the 1v1, and you can expect to get a 15 CS lead from Fudge. But that being said, that would be on equal footing. I don't know that he has it in him to gap Doran. So we're definitely going to look for him to try to play his best and press the advantage where he has it, when he has it. And really trying to do it any time that your team could be strong anywhere. I want K'Sante to press up, right? This is what you have to do. Sometimes these American players are too cautious, saying like, hey, the counter might be in my lap already, so I can't make this play. But the counter can't exist in all 3 lanes at once. So if you're being aggressive in 2 positions, let's say for example Kha'Zix and LeBlanc push out mid and then disappear off the map, that's where I'd like K'Sante to go up and like start being aggressive right away, or anytime LeBlanc backs. All right, now we see this level 1. We talked about level 1, how Zaya Rakan are going to be stronger, right? This is the power of the W from Zaya. It gives Rakan extra power on his auto attacks, and that is enough to swing that matchup in the start of the game. Lucian Nami, with only 1 spell available to the Nami, it means that she doesn't actually have permanent uptime for Lucian to get his bonuses, right? So that's what you're trying to take advantage of at level 1 if you're Zaya and Rakan. That being said, your team is stronger after the W goes down, right? So when these spells do go down, then you can continue these trades. I'm glad to see that they do. And it means that they are going to hit level 2 for themselves. They're going to have the advantage here. Kind of awkwardly, though, it looks like they were actually zoned off of minions at level 1, because that was the 10th minion, not the 9th that died. So that means they must have been zoned off. So showing exactly like GenG, willing to play to those limits and really take advantage of that level 1 spike to the tune of getting a 1 minion advantage. And that matters, right? That matters for your spikes. It means that you're going to hit level 3 first when you're contesting for this cannon wave. It means that Pays and Delight are happy to take this. Now, I don't get this, right? You just had Kha'Zix nearby. You could continue to feign aggression. The fact that you're playing back now shows them that Kha'Zix is not here. Unless you're going for a really delayed bait, in which case GenG would be fairly happy with it. But because Wukong already invaded the Western Quadrant, they know that Kha'Zix was at least nearby. They also know that even if he's still here, Wukong is severely out-tempoing in the jungle. Ooh, a little bit loose by Blabber here. Even if you do have the second stack, you just never want to risk the smite right there. Yes, you're going to be able to go, right? He's go smite Q auto Q, right? You're going to be able to get that very, very quickly. But why even give the potential for Wukong to come back? Now, he may be reading, he may be saying, hey, I can calculate the types of places that Wukong could have gone from the position based on my blue buff being down, and I'm confident that he's not going to be here. I didn't see exactly when they got that ward down in front of Raptors, but that would be something to check out on. And again, if you're going to make some kind of play in the bot lane, you want to have some sort of vision lingering in the top so that you know exactly the timer of the jungler, whether or not you carry your momentum from bot lane into the eastern quadrant or whether or not you have to take it home. And that is something that they weren't able to do, which means that Blabber is down 2 camps right now. He's going to get one back for himself, and importantly, it is the Raptor camp. But it does mean that Wukong knows, right? So Wukong's going to slide over. He might come straight to bot lane. He might also try to go push out mid and go for a dive. Unfortunately, the timer is wrong for GenG. Their wave is crashing now, which isn't to say that they couldn't do it again. But normally in this position, what you want to have happen is you want to push out together with Wukong and Vex. You want to create a stacked wave as the Xayah and Rakan. And then you slow push while mid lane fast pushes. They come on over and the new wave comes in 10 seconds after the mid wave does and after they've pushed it in. And then you'd be succinct. You'd be timing your dive with the arrival of the Wukong and the Vex. So they opt for a little bit of aggression right there. There's 2 different things that can happen, right? Wukong's already coming over. So when you're trading health bars, either they continue the fight and then you're going to be stronger with Wukong, or you win the trade by doing all the upfront damage. And when you get upfront damage like that, it means that the HP bars are going to be in your favor, or the wave is going to be in your favor so that you can come up and start this dive. So they say, hey, they did not continue the fight, so let's go ahead and continue with plan A. We assume they're going to do this. We're going to rotate our mid lane over, and we're going to go for a 3v2 and 4v2 ahead of tempo. M&S nowhere near reacting to this play. And yeah, just another case in what looks like Cloud9 phoning it in. Or at least M&S. So far he's offered nothing. Nothing this game. This match. All right, so we take the lead. Let's see, the rebound. We decide to take the rebound for Kha'Zix to get into the Dragon Pit. Now this, Kha'Zix is probably the most prolific, probably the second fastest Dragon Taker after Amumu. Amumu being exceptionally quick, but it does mean that as they're rotating over, this is slow because they saw LeBlanc in mid, means that they do get a chance to contest. It means that Blabber has to use the smite. Obviously he's going to use smite and be okay with it to get out, but he's going to be lower on resources. It means that GenG is now stronger, right? So expect Wukong to come invade, and here he goes saying, hey, we understand that because LeBlanc showed, that means that we know that your dragon took too long, and we're going to come and aggress, and now we get to win your southern quadrant. Wukong gets an important ward down on the Krugs. They get over. They've got zombie wards for Rakan. Rakan's going to be able to step back. He probably has his upgrade. Now, or at the very least, he's going to get some cooldown, either in the form of Kindle Gem or Lucid Boots. Nope. All right. Not yet. He just goes for the control ward. Come on back. The idea behind the recall there, yes, it's not the fastest thing you could do, but enemy team, you know that you have vision in the river, right? You won that for yourself. So enemy team assumes that your Rakan is coming straight back. Why not just go back to base and get a little bit more for yourself? The Xayah can start playing up as if Rakan is there, even though he's not, because you have such good information. You know that you've sent 2 people back home, so Lucian Nami probably not going to aggress upon the 2v2. Although they should, right? Lucian has an item advantage right here. Like, trade more, faster, now, please. Go. You have pickaxe. You have a pickaxe in the lead right here. Cleanse to dash away, gets a big culling off. I do like that movement by Berserker, but would like to see these guys playing way more aggressively. Zen not having access to flash or heal might have something to do with it. He's probably afraid of the play going on to them. We do have Hex Flash available from Rakan, which is something that we see so that they can get these early boots. It's so important. It's very tempting to go magical footwear to get that extra speed, but it's just so important to have the speed in bot lane here and now. That's why you never, or I should say very, very rarely, see these guys go magical footwear. One of the champions that does do it is Lucian, because he's not gated by movement or attack speed, right? He has access to those things in his kit. So magical footwear, totally fine on Lucian, but on most other champions, you're going to see a lot of Berserker Greaves rushes because it gives you modal abilities, right? You can be aggressive or defensive with speed and move speed. Oh no, Fudge getting nothing out of this all out. Not what you want to have happen. Okay, continuing it. Good. Saying, hey, I'm playing back because I'm afraid that Wukong's nearby. And Wukong truly is moving the Rift Herald in this direction, but not willing to press it far enough. I do like the play where it's like, hey, okay, yeah, I understand Wukong's not here, so I'm not going to trade with you. Just kidding, I'm going to trade with you, and you get one more in. That is heads up. That is something that is available to you. Like I said, right, they can't be aggressive in every single place. So if you suspect that they're committing to something, make them turn their head. Make them see, make them try to make that decision that might get them into trouble. As far as like, oh, shoot, I need to come off of Rift Herald because this guy's being aggressive. Oh, no, I don't. Just force those decisions onto your opponents. The more decision trees that you give your opponents, the more likely they are to make a mistake during the game. And especially when you're an underdog, very, very important to force mistakes. Right? The status quo game is not going to go in your favor. You can't suspect that, hey, we're just like 40-60 to go into games and we're going to try to win a series off of 40-60. The chances of winning 3 games when you're 40% favored, very, very slim actually. All right, Pei is going to be feeling very strong here. Has the boots for himself. Obviously, Berserker does not, but he's got the extra crit cloak, a little bit of extra damage, a little bit of RNG as well. Maybe you get some access to this. Peanut coming in, getting the full off trade there. Eminet's burning just a bit. Means that the clone is going to go off. Now, this is a tool that won't be around for them. And Vex just super comfortable into LeBlanc all day. M&S trying to make some unpredictable plays, right? Did a couple things aggroing the Raptor Pit, for example, getting short amounts of vision in there. Looks like they're giving up 3 plates here. Massive amount. Might go for 4. They go for 4 because Wukong's got the bunk. They can't commit to this, though. Is this a bait? It needs to be some sort of bait. Hey, force them to come in. We're still good with this wave. We're just stronger here. Knowing that with this HP lead, they're feeling invincible. Now the bulwarks are up, so this turd's going to be exceptionally difficult to down. But with the size of that wave, they're going for it. They're actually saying, "Hey, we've got access to this. We can go do it." Where's the continued aggression? You can't do it because you don't have boots. And then you see one of the differences, right? The ability of when you're boots, you can continue trades, you can kite better, you get to dictate the terms of the next fight. Nice try by Nami trying to save Lucian there, but Vex showing just how steady this pick can be. A pick that does not see enough play at this level. Right, you see a lot of Poppy as a dash mitigator. Vex, the conditions are a little bit tougher to get, right? You need to have your Dread passive up to be a hard counter to these champions. But, these teams are patient enough. They're used to working with Aphelioses and Nars that want ideal game states for themselves. Peanut actually missing his W there. No matter, gets far enough. Actually surprised that didn't get the knockup on the Sven, but it ends up baiting out the Kazakhs as well. And that's, when we were talking about the Kazakhs pick, the best synergy is going to be the damage with LeBlanc. You would have liked to see something like Lee Sin, a little bit higher on the totem pole as far as alpha junglers, also with more mobility that can help make more plays with the LeBlanc. Kazakhs doesn't have his own agency that much, right? He's not actually creating plays for himself. And every time that I see this Kazakhs pick, I think, how good would Trundle be? Right? You can be way more of a dog in the early game. You can just absolutely take over jungle matchups. Trundle did have to go through probably the most patching this season. Right? The preseason made tremendous gains for him, right? He obviously had a tough time with camps like Raptors and Wolves, and now by getting the pet, Trundle doesn't have that issue anymore. And so Trundle was a huge outlier to start. They had to nerf him hard, and then they had to bring him back because they over-nerfed him. But I think he's in a good spot right now. Totally good for these champions if they want to take over one spot in a fight. And also, right, the power of that rock in late game team fights, the fact that you can misposition their team, you can split them apart, especially against a team that has the likes of Xayah Rakan. Rakan could be jumping in, or Wukong could be jumping in. Trundle also a hard counter to Sion ultimate, right? You can just force them to bash into the wall at any time. You can guarantee that for yourself. So very versatile pick. Would have also crushed the 1v1 matchup for themselves. Now Wukong's basically never going to give it. They're just always going to move away. But if you have that pick, then you can start flexing around your lanes. You can get in the way of mid lane. You have, it probably wouldn't be a Vex pick anymore, but you have more agency for your LeBlanc as well, right? The pillar, anytime you pillar on their head, LeBlanc can immediately dash right on top of the pillar. And basically, wherever the enemy player gets moved, they're in a predictable spot with a knockback, with a slow attached to it. So they're never going to be able to dodge the chains. So would have liked to see something like Trundle paired with LeBlanc. Also would have given you a tremendous answer to Sion in the late game. Say, hey, how beefy do you want to get? Because I'm more than happy to do this. Also a champion that's very good into Rakan, actually. Rakan, if he's ulting in, if Trundle's fast enough, can get his ultimate in response to Rakan. And then while the fight is starting, with both of you on top of each other, Rakan's trying to layer CC, right? He wants the charm into the knockup. Well, that whole time he's losing stats and you're gaining stats. Means that your team might be able to just pop him, especially when you have something like Lucian and LeBlanc for upfront damage. Oh, guessing wrong, Berserker. Nice try. Where was I? More reasons why Trundle was good, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, just as that fight's going off, you're taking away Rakan's resistances, and then Lucian and LeBlanc can just pop whoever's left. Also, it gives a pillar, which cannot be underscored enough, the synergy with K'Sante, right? Being able to just put the pillar anywhere in the fight. It also makes K'Sante a flanking champion. Normally he's not, because people can just position away from walls. But if you put a Trundle out there, suddenly there's a wall anywhere that you want on the entire map, which means a further kidnap for the all-out and more engaged. So would have liked to see Trundle. The more I see it, the better this pick looks for this composition and for this combination of champions. In fact, I like that lineup is good enough that I'd say it might even be stronger than the typical Vi, Talia, Gnar combo that you see with Lucian Nami. When you see those two champions, normally they pair with those other ones. So Talia can put up the wall. It makes sure that they can't run away from Nami. Nami gives the speed boost. It also makes a wall for the Gnar to knock back, right? Just insane synergies everywhere. I think Trundle would accomplish the same thing with LeBlanc and K'Sante, as well as the Lucian. But more from this game. 4-0 with a 7k gold lead from GenG. Again, like, MNS has not done anything in the entire series so far. If Cloud9 is going to get back, what is it going to look like? Well, right now they've got one item compared to 1.5 or 2. The 2 items already on Wukong because he's just tremendously far ahead. Means that they basically can't take any fight. I don't want them to even posture for this. What I want them to do after GenG pushes this wave and moves towards the dragon, I want to see Cloud9 re-push mid and then take over the northern quadrant and get this top turret for themselves. But by opting to be here for this fight means they're just going to get absolutely blown up. Also, this corridor, as red team versus blue team, much more favored for red as far as Vex is concerned, right? Vex has a very specific position, and that angle, that part of the retreat from the pit through the Raptors is basically an auto hit for Vex ultimate. Anyways, Cloud9 kind of belligerently taking to that position. We see the strength of Everfrost here on Vex, holding someone down. Now, good job by MNS taking this trade to the maximum, showing that he is capable of trading, but to what end, right? This was just This was the leftover. They sent Pei's top because they didn't need him anywhere else. He wasn't going to be threatened. He goes and gets the wave for himself. Same thing with Sion in bottom. Wukong goes, takes the dragon, and everyone else will recall. Now this is living dangerously. Woo! He's rechanneling. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is he really getting away with this? Rip. That's when you know. That's when you know when they're feeling that confident to get away with that kind of position. Oh, good job by Chovy. You see that? Getting the W flash. W flash to interrupt the jump from Kha'Zix, right? Showing how strong Vex is. And this is what I was talking about, right? That avenue, there's no way to dodge those. So now GenG should be having enough. And what I want to see from them is actual flex here. I want to see their technique for forcing a fight and pulling off of Baron. They have enough of a lead where they actually don't even need to pull off, right? They can actually just stay on the Baron. There's not enough threat to their backside. Sion can tank the Baron for days, and you've got Rakan and Vex that have the shields that can kind of float around the edge of the front of the team fight. Enemy team is never going to come in. If you're Vex, you're basically not going to fish with your spell. You're going to wait till it can counter, which unfortunately does mean that you're missing out on some of the kill. Right now you see him chugging to try to get that bar back up. Once it's back up, Vex should be on auto attack duty on the Baron, saving that ultimate to be that big fear. And then you have the potential of Sion Rakan just absolutely annihilating this team fight. So yeah, check out this position, right? Angled off back left of the pit so that they can run out this way if they need to. Now I don't like this play. This is too committal and too early from Doran. Right, you're way out in front. You do split up the fight, and that's fine. It is your prerogative. You are stronger here. Nami actually wasted the tidal wave, so they actually might think that they're stronger now. A little speed boost here from Peanut. You see how he positions himself ready to his team so that he cannot get all-outed. LeBlanc finds the team, and here we go. Cloud9 finding something for himself, and this is largely on the back of the reach from Doran. What I would have liked to see is just make them come closer. Make them come closer. There's no reason to reach in that position, right? You're winning by so much. They don't have enough long-range chip damage. Best they're going to do is cull, and even if they cull, you can all just hide on the other side of the Baron. Best case from Cloud9 is they convince you to do that while Tidal Wave is coming in, and maybe get a knock-up to start the fight, but it's still not going to be enough. Not with that much gold lead. So don't like that Doran pulled the trigger that quickly. Something to improve. And these shutdowns, they're not negligible. And specifically LeBlanc getting her hands on that much extra gold should mean that it should catapult her into item 2. I love this, actually. I absolutely love the Magi's purchase here. So you're getting extra bonuses for the cheapest possible mythic upgrade, right? So you've already got the Luden's Echo. You want the mythic passive. So for the cost of 1,600 gold, you actually get another legendary item. So you're getting more spell pen from the Luden's Echo. It's also saying, hey, if we're going to come back, it's because we have to win the next fight. So not only is it the most damage that you can get right now, but also saying, hey, if we do win this fight, then I have a stacked Magi's, right? Like there's a world where you could actually have 23 stacks on this after a fight right here. Probably more realistic, if they win a fight, maybe they've got like 12, but still, where are you positioning to make this happen? They end up going too shallow, too many people in the Western Quadrant as GenG is pushing up. And so they basically call their bluff and say, yeah, okay, fine. We'll steamroll in the rest of the way. We'll let the turret take care of these minions as we walk up for the engage here on bot lane. No carry means you're not going to get any damage in. Berserker going for the second item, Rapid Fire Cannon. I don't like this unless you bought Serrated Dirk first. If you buy Serrated Dirk, then go into Gale Force, I'm happy with Rapid Fire Cannon. I don't like Rapid Fire second. I know Double Lift is a huge proponent of it. You just want that first auto attack to go off because it allows you to get the passive off. That's the concept behind it. But apart from that, the extra attack speed not really doing anything for you. And you're not in a position where you can play from ahead, where you can like reach for these trades. You need to be able to win with all-in damage, not with the like first bit of chip damage that's inconsequentially going to hit Rakan or Sion. Cloud9 saying, hey, we can take you here. We can surprise you. Game's only going to get worse. So here's the problem. GenG does not need to do anything. They're just going to go into the standoff position. It's on Cloud9. They have to force the fight. So force it they do. They do get the all-out from Fudge. He's peeling 3 people. But now that he's moved aside, the team decides to move forward together. They get the pick on Kha'Zix. And the problem was, yes, I like the play. Hey, we have to force something. We're definitely just going to get strangled out if we do nothing here. So we have to force it, right? And by forcing it, good, all right? You're right. You definitely are in checkmate. You're going to get rounded out. But GenG makes the appropriate play, which is, hey, we don't need to do anything. We can just watch you here. Supers will go and win the game if you do nothing. And so Cloud9 correctly has to pull the trigger on a bad play and just say, all right, this is our chance. This is our best chance. Maybe we can get some upfront damage and get lucky in the fight if we get a pick early. But GenG just slapping them with their wallets. And we have a 2-0 lead, and it has not looked close.